In today's Murli, Baba is talking about inheritance. And Baba says that the inheritance, the word inheritance, comes from the concept of a family. Yes. Baba says the sannyasi will not say that my follower will get inheritance from me. So this whole concept of the transfer of property as a right, which we call inheritance, this is a concept which exists in a family setting. And this is why when Baba comes, he creates a family. He says, in this family, there is Baba, there is Mama, there is Dada, grandfather. So Baba says, this is a family. And in this family, you are the child. And you are the adopted child. So I have adopted you, and Baba today says, you are my Shiv Shakti. You are my creation. I have created you. And now you're mine. I am your parent. And if you belong to me, so Baba says, I have created you. I belong to you. But do you belong to me? Yes, so do you understand that in the world, the child belongs to the parent? So in the Lokik sense also, the child totally belongs to the parent. The child surrenders to the parent completely. Now here also, when Baba comes, Baba reminds us that I am your true parent and you are my true children. Now we also, when we talk about Baba, we say Baba. In the Murli we read, this is Baap, teacher, Satguru. But do I really understand this is my father? And have I surrendered to Baba completely? Have I become a child, one who has complete surrender to the father? So the child does everything that the father says. Yes, and the child doesn't worry, because he knows my father will take care of me. So Baba says, you call me father, you call me Baba. I have given you the knowledge that I am your Baba. But have you accepted me as Baba? Do you belong to me completely? Because Baba says, I have created you and I belong to you. Just look at how much Baba is. So Baba is all about us. So in this Sangam Yug, Baba is completely dedicated to his children. And every child individually feels that Baba is here for me every moment, guiding me, inspiring me, motivating me, filling me with power, answering my queries. So Baba says, I have come like a good physical parent, which you have seen or not seen. I have come and physically surrendered myself to you. I am here for you. I belong to you. I have created you and committed to this relationship. But have you committed to this relationship that way? And Baba says that if you have committed to me like that, if you've become my child, then you will have the intoxication of inheritance. So Baba is here, and Baba says that the soul world is your property, Satyug is your property. So Baba says, I create heaven, that's your property, because the father's property is the child's property. And when you are with me in the soul world, then that soul world is also your property, because that's the father's property, so the child's property. So Baba says, if you have surrendered to me, and if you have this intoxication of inheritance, so do you have the intoxication of father's inheritance? So in the world also, a king's child will have the intoxication of his father's property. So he will always behave like a king. So the prince is a reflection of the king. Right from the time when he is young, he will always show traits of, that kind of, that intoxication that I'm the king's child. So Baba says, do you have that intoxication that I'm God's child? And the soul world, the world of peace and the world of happiness that Baba is creating now is my birthright. So my past, my future are all absolutely secure. There is no need, no space, no scope for worry. So do you feel this kind of unlimited intoxication? Do you stay in the intoxication of the father's property? That's what Baba is saying today. And you see that we are living in a world right now where everybody is pretty body conscious, and everybody is, in the intoxication of this old world's property. Yes, the relationships, the body, the attainments of this old world. And we are living in a time when everything is very, very uncertain. It is absolutely uncertain. And in my experience, what I have understood is there is no formula for great health. There is no formula for good relationships. There is no formula for success, material success. So it is drama, it is according to drama. So, there are many people who will tell you the formula for health, the formula for good relationships, or the formula for success. Until that formula fails, you will listen to that. But the truth is, there is no formula. And there is no reason why things happen the way they happen these days. At least not the reason you can discern in the present, because everything is, there is a deep karmic trajectory. So I, the soul, have taken 84 births, and there is so much of karmic journey behind me that whatever comes today looks like it comes suddenly, although there is a reason why whatever happens, because it's there in the karmic trajectory, that reason is reflected. But in the present, if you think that, just by present karma, you can ensure health, you can ensure good relationships or material success, it doesn't have a formula. Yes, and that is why the world today is also talking about the adversity quotient. So in the world today, there is a lot of talk about the adversity quotient, AQ. And what the world means by the adversity quotient is, even if you do everything right and an adversity comes suddenly, you have to cross it. And if you keep questioning why, what, why did this happen, I didn't do anything to cause it, then you will get stuck by it. So anything will happen suddenly, and success can only be guaranteed to those who cross those barriers constantly. So Baba today says that, if you are in the intoxication of whatever you have right now, that intoxication is an illusion. So, these days you ask somebody, are you happy? They say yes. Why are you happy? Because circumstances are favorable. When I came into Gyan, my friends used to say, why do you need to meditate? You are the best among us. You are always sweet, polite, peaceful. Why do you need to meditate? But somewhere, I had this realization that yes, I am sweet, polite, peaceful, but because circumstances are favorable. But as soon as something changes suddenly, I used to get very upset or very angry. And only I knew that. And when I came into Gyan, Baba spoke that, and Baba said that, you may, so the soul is experiencing happiness, peace, everything in this old world also. But why is it not constant? Because it is built on the foundation of the constantly changing. So in these days, when people talk about happiness or peace, what is the foundation of that happiness and peace? The foundation of that happiness and peace is something that's going right now. But that foundation is not strong, it is not constant. And any shift in that reason for happiness and peace will cause a change in the state of happiness and peace. And then, that zeal and enthusiasm to do something also declines. So, when the job is going right, you are a great worker. But when there is a problem with the job, you're not even a good worker then. Your brain is not working, your mind is not with you. So Baba says, you cannot, in these times of rapid uncertainty. So we are living in a time where everything is so uncertain and everything is so changing so suddenly that you cannot depend on your happiness and peace. You cannot depend on these things for your happiness and peace, for your stability or your inner stage. Then what is it that we hold on to? So Baba says, stay in the intoxication of the unlimited inheritance that you get from the Father. So my Baba, so I'm God's child, I'm a godly child. And my Baba is the Malik, the master of Brahman, the master of the incorporeal world. And He's the creator of heaven. And I'm entitled to both these worlds. So I'm entitled to the world of peace and world of happiness. And right now I am entitled to all of Baba's knowledge and virtues and powers. So even if circumstances are not my way, I still have Baba's knowledge, Baba's virtues and Baba's powers. And that is enough for me to cross any adversity. And Baba says that you have my inheritance. So my future, my past, everything is secure. And I always have this feeling, whenever something happens, which is not what I expected, or something happens suddenly, then I always tell myself, maybe there is a loss in the present, but your fortune is not lost. And I always feel that somebody can take away something in the present, but they cannot take away your fortune. Nobody can take away your bhagya from you. And in the world, when people are not aware of their bhagya, so they don't know what is in their fortune. But we are the children of Bhrigu Rishi. Yes, so we are the children of the Bhagya Vidhata, the one who has given us complete knowledge of our fortune. He is not only creating our fortune, but He has given complete knowledge of what is in my fortune. And He has made us see that when I leave the body for 21 births, I will be in a world where there is no disease, no sorrow, no pain, no dirt, no problems. So Baba says, why don't you stay in the intoxication of that world? And how do you create intoxication? So Baba has given us a formula. अपनी घोट तो नशा चढ़े. अपनी घोट तो नशा चढ़े means when you churn on what Baba is telling you individually, then you will have the intoxication. So we are the most fortunate children, the star of lights of the world of light, who are sitting in the lap of the Supreme Father. And my Supreme Father is giving me the inheritance of the world of peace and happiness both. And Baba says, this is your truth. But if you don't think about it, how will you be intoxicated by the realization of your elevated fortune? There is nobody as fortunate as you. So have you seen that these days, children who score 99% marks cry? So because the parents will say and the child will say that, you didn't get 100%. You only got 99%. So this is the thing, if you have 99 and you still cry, that means that you don't have the capacity to be happy. And Baba says that person has 99 marks or 99% and is crying. And that is such a, it's such a funny thing to do. It's such a stupid thing to do. But it's the same with us. We have Baba. We have the security of 21 births. And still we cry over pennies. So we cry over limited things. And the thing is, why do we cry over these limited losses? Because we are body conscious. Because the truth is, this world has no strength in it. And this degraded, this dilapidated world, you cannot expect anything to be permanently, a source of happiness and peace in this world. But we still keep counting on them and hoping and praying that they continue. Why? Because we are body conscious. We are not soul conscious. We are not acting knowledgefully. I will share one incident with you. So there is this Mata, and she told me that, Didi, when I got married, in 2 years, my husband divorced me. So he just left me, he sent me divorce papers and he divorced me. And then my father supported me and I worked, and I was pretty happy because I always thought, okay, so if somebody was not right for me, they left, it's a good thing. I thanked God, I was very happy. And then for 30 years I worked, and in my company everybody said that they have never seen such a charming personality as me. I was always the one who took initiatives. I was always the one who created a happy environment. And then suddenly after 30 years everything changed. And now I'm the most miserable person in the office, and my last office chucked me out, and I took a new job recently and I'm not able to settle there also, and everything is going downhill. So I said, what happened after that 30 years? What changed? So she said, my father died. The father who had been my pillar for so long died. So I said, okay, so your father died, and how old was he? So she said he was 82. And I said, so did you think he will never die? Did you think he would never die? So she said, no, he would die, but he died very soon. So I said, when would he die? Would be not soon? So she said, he's already dead, so no point discussing it. So let's discuss it. So if he died at 90 also, it would have been very soon for you. If he died at 105 also, it would be very soon for you. Because you are not opening your eyes and seeing the reality. So the reality is you are banking upon something that is perishable. So the present costume of the father is perishable. That soul has to leave the costume and go. So the thing is, Baba says, behave knowledgefully. Baba has given us the knowledge of the time cycle. Why has Baba given us the knowledge of the time cycle? So that we understand that we are in the end of the cycle. Nothing in the end has any power. These days people just leave body like this. Young age, 19, 20-year-old. They just leave the body just like that. During COVID, people left the body just like that. Why? Because there is no power in anything. There is no stability in anything. This is the nature of the world. This is the truth of Kali Yuga. So Baba says, in relationships also, you think that everything is going right, and suddenly one day you realize that you were living in an illusion all these years. The health fails you, the job fails you, everything fails you in a second. So Baba says, don't try to, just prolong that illusion. Don't try to propagate that illusion. Don't try to depend on that which is Kali Yugi, that which is perishable. Now open your third eye and see what is it that you can really bank upon. So I am a soul, and I, the fortunate soul, am sitting in the canopy of Baba, And Baba's knowledge, power, virtues are my asset, which I can never run out of. So, I have constant availability of God's knowledge, power, and virtues, which is my asset in Sangam Yoga. I have Baba's guaranteed check that I will go to heaven and live happily for 21 births. I have the right, I am the child of the Supreme Soul, the ocean of peace. My home is the world of peace. Any time I want to go home and sit there peacefully, I can do that. Baba has reminded me of the way back home. So Baba says, stay in the intoxication of these and just pass through this world. So this world where, this world is a world of the pair of opposites. The truth of the world is, this world is a world of day and night, happiness and sorrow, loss and gain, yes, pain and happiness. So this world is like that, defamation and praise. This is a world of the pair of opposites. There is no way to ensure praise always. Nobody always had praise. Which Mahatma, which Dharmatma was always praised? That you will be praised always. And what have you done to receive praise always? So nobody received praise always. God is also defamed in this world. So what makes you think that people will always praise you? So you will be defamed, you will be praised. Praise and defamation are two sides of the same coin in this world. There will be happiness, there will be times when things are favorable, there will be times when things will be unfavorable. It is the nature of this Kali Yugi world. There will be loss, there will be gain, there will be birth, there will be death. So Baba says, when you are body conscious, then the very nature of Kali Yuga starts affecting you because you're not behaving knowledgefully. So that which is natural, that which is inevitable is upsetting you because you are not understanding the nature of Kali Yuga. So Baba says, when you stay in the intoxication of Baba's knowledge, Baba's new world, Baba's sweet home, then you will be able to have equanimity in all these, in the face of these pair of opposites. So there will always be these things. So if somebody praises, okay, seen in drama. Somebody defames, seen in drama, nothing else. Don't think it's about your greatness or it's about something wrong you did. It is just a scene in drama. Nobody can ensure anything all the time. So nothing is permanent in this impermanent world. So Baba says, create this intoxication of the permanent property that Baba is giving you. And that will help you to pass through the vagaries and the inconsistencies of this old world. So this is Baba's main teaching today, and Baba says, don't become body conscious. And when will you think about Baba and his inheritance? Only when you're soul conscious. So first thing is practice. I live in this world, but I'm not of this world. This is an old world. I am a soul. I am a soul. That is my Baba. That is my home. My new home is waiting. And when you practice being soul conscious, then you will be able to rise above body consciousness, which pulls you into the effect of the pairs of opposites of this world. So this is something that Baba says. And then Today Baba also talks about there's a very beautiful blessing, and Baba says, don't wait something to leave or something to change. You leave. Yes. Baba says, chodo to chuto. Yes, chodo to chuto, which means that you are, and the analogy that Baba gives for this is that, when there is a bird sitting on the branch, then the bird holds the branch with its feet. And when it has to fly, it has to lift its feet. Similarly, Baba says, are you holding to anything in the old world with the feet of your intellect? Yes, are you holding anything of the old world with the feet of your intellect? And if your intellect is tied there, and then you say that if this thing changes, then I will be free, then Baba says you are like that bird who is holding on to the branch and saying, set me free. So when you are holding it, you have to leave it. I remember there is a story by Buddha, and in that story, so Buddha and his Shishya are passing through a jungle, and then there's a water body in that jungle. And then in one bank of the water body, there is a woman who is unconscious. So she had drowned and now she is unconscious. And Buddha sees it. And then he knows that this woman belongs to the other side of the water body. So, she comes from the other side of the river, and she is probably just drowned in the river and come this side. So he decides that I will carry this woman to the other side. And then when he starts doing that, then the Shishya says, but we are not allowed to touch a woman. So as a sannyasi, we are not allowed to touch a woman. So why are you doing that? So Buddha says, see, the circumstance demands it, and this is help, so I have to do it. So then the Shishya also keeps quiet, and then they go across the river, and Buddha then leaves the woman there, and then they are going. And then one day later, as they are in the jungle walking, just covering ground, then the Shishya, the second day, he tells Buddha, Guru, you didn't do something right yesterday. So he says, what happened yesterday? So he said, you shouldn't have lifted that woman and taken her across. So Buddha says, I lifted her yesterday, I left her yesterday, but you are still carrying her. So why don't you leave her now? So I just lifted her once because it was needed, and then I left her. But why are you carrying her till now? So everything is about the buddhi. So what is the buddhi holding on to? So there is a brother, and he's always telling me that his wife doesn't allow him to come to the center. And how old is he? He's 70. So he says, my wife doesn't allow me. So I said, what does your wife do? Does she beat you up? So he said, no. What does she do? She says, don't go. So I said, if she says don't go, why do you stop? You go. So she said, no, she is always very bickering and Then she'll keep talking all day. You went, you are going there without my permission. I don't like it. This, that. So I said, okay, even if she says all that, so what? Even if she cribs all day, what is your problem in that? Do you love her too much that you cannot cause her any trouble? So he said, no, I hate her. So I said, if you hate her, her trouble is not your trouble. She is not beating you up. She is not locking you up. What is your problem? So, but no, she keeps saying, why doesn't she stop? So she will not stop until Vinash. Then you will never come to the center or what? So you leave her. That's the problem. You don't leave her physically. You leave her from the buddhi. So this is our problem. We are always carrying everything with the buddhi. Where is the circumstance? Where is, so, there was, when I was in office, there was this young girl and she had got recently married. And if she met me on the gate, she would start talking about her mother-in-law from the gate. If she met me on the lift, she would start talking about her mother-in-law from the lift itself. All day she would keep telling me how much of a problem her mother-in-law is. And then one day I asked her, do you love your mother-in-law too much? So she said, no. So I said, just calculate how many hours you live with her. So she said, 4 or 5 hours. I said, no, 24 hours. 4 or 5 hours is drama's creation. Rest hours is your choice. Even when you leave home, you come to office, you choose to be with her. You are always talking about her, thinking about her, complaining about her. Now I also know everything about your mother-in-law. She is living with me also now. So you love her too much, it seems. So she said, no. So I said, then leave her. When it is not optional, you are living with her at home. Okay, you have to listen to her, or you have to see her. The moment you step out of the house, why don't you leave her? And then slowly you will learn to leave her even when you're there. So Baba says, you are saying circumstances are not leaving me, people are not leaving, causing trouble, but you are holding on to them. They are not holding on to you. So, chodo to chuto. And Baba says, Brahma Baba did that. Brahma Baba didn't wait for anybody's permission. Brahma Baba didn't wait for anybody to change. Brahma Baba understood that I am the child of God. I have to do as he says, come what may. So he was not under any influence. So if you just leave everything from the buddhi, then nothing will have an influence over you. And your karma, your destiny will be your choice. Okay?